Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of our Spoilercast series for Life is Strange Double Exposure. My name is David Turner. I'm here with Sean Bell,
Hello.
Matt Murray,
Hello.
and James Farley.
Hello.
We're going to discuss now episode 5, Decoherence? Is that what they called it?
I don't even remember.
I thought it was decoherence. I don't know.
Decoherence.
Decoherence,
that would probably be,
yeah.
that makes more sense than decoherence, doesn't it?
Incoherent.
Good start.
Should be. Yeah.
Let's just get to it, shall we? Let's just go through. It's
I
been a roller
loved
coaster
this
ride.
episode.
It's a roller coaster ride. This series, full of hope and wonder, and if you really love Life is Strange Double Exposure, probably just give this one a swerve. This episode, it's not going to go well, I don't think. But here we go. Here are my notes. Max wakes up at the scene of the murder, but this time there's a storm brewing. It's basically you'll sort of start this episode back in that moment where you saw the picture, right? Yeah. So this is you going through the picture. It's what we spoke about at the end of episode 4. I need to find Safi. Question mark, question mark, question mark to indicate that you have no idea what timeline you're in. I quite like that. I thought it was a neat little touch.
Yeah.
Neither dead nor alive.
You don't know if you're a dead town or a live town. Yeah, so I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. It's adding a little bit of mystery. Let's see where this episode goes. Safi seems to know what's going on. Oh, I seem to have dragged her ABC to this unknown timeline with me. I don't know what that means, David.
What an autocorrect.
Maybe back or something like that.
Yeah. Dragged her back to this unknown timeline with me. Right, okay, fine. I'm still not quite sure what this middle timeline was. Does anyone know?
No. I mean, I'm not entirely sure that even the people who wrote it.
Yeah, I don't think
it was just to confuse the player, I think, rather than actually being a specific time or place.
I think they thought it was cool. It's the thing.
You said about everything they do, though, James.
The argument is because we. No, that can't be right.
Go on.
So we can establish from this that there can only be one person in either. Sorry, if you travel from one timeline to another, the you that was in that other timeline is replaced by you, right? Because that's why Max falls on. In the first episode, she falls unconscious, doesn't she? As she takes the picture.
Yep.
And then she wakes up later, and we now know because that's the time period where future Max comes back.
Yes.
So I guess there can't be two Maxes in one timeline, right?
No, I see.
But then by that logic, if we shoot Safi, if we've brought Safi back with us, and we've got future Safi in the past with us, and we shoot and we don't shoot, obviously. But if we shot her, why would she still be dead?
I don't know, Sean. I don't know, Sean. Also, surely people would be concerned with Max just like, especially in the bar, going to the toilets and then just becoming unconscious in that little lobby area.
I assume she just like disappears, but then that means
she disappears because that early one with Moses, where she disappeared in front of his face.
But then Max is special, right? In that there is only one of her. Across all
timelines.
But she does disappear because when she proved it to Moses, and then she was proving something else.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't got onto the storm followed us back in time.
Okay, we're 6 seconds in and we're already picking the holes.
That her disappearing in front of Moses was useful for the plot at that moment. We don't know.
Safi pulls out a gun and says, "I guess it's time." I responded with, "Do you really want to do this?" Because it does seem a bit. I don't know why she was desperate to be shot during that.
Yeah, it doesn't really explain why Safi's suddenly like, "You probably should kill me." Actually,
I thought it's just because she was so excited about them both having powers and seeing the possibilities. That's what I took from it.
Where's the jump from being excited about both having powers to shoot me in the head, please?
Because I think she was fascinated about where she'll end up. I don't know.
What? Your brain.
Safi's brain, not my brain.
I mean, can you imagine that? Just in general, just shoot me. I'd like to know where I end up.
So this is my confusion
how you react
here.
to exciting news, Matt.
Well, this is like when I said a few years ago, like, I haven't broken a bone.
You were excited about COVID.
I'd like to see what that Yeah.
I hope
Also, I
someone
was like,
shoots
I've never
me.
broken a bone before, but I'd like to see what it feels like, and now I know. So
Yeah, you get.
Okay.
I tell you what, you really put the hours in, didn't you?
I really do.
To get what you want.
Rise and grind.
So I've got Wallace and Gromit. Did you just say?
It said rise and grind.
You
I
just said
thought,
Wallace
I
and
thought
Gromit.
it was Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, that's weird, wasn't it? I thought, yeah, Wallace and Gromit. What do you mean? Well, he's a go-getter, isn't he? He's an inventor.
He is,
That's what the phrase is.
Entrepreneur.
I'd love to see Wallace and Gromit on Dragon's Den. Shut up, David. That's fucking. Ugh, what a horrible thing to shut up. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. To end the storm? Question mark. Does she have to die in the same way as Chloe had to die? So I thought this was going to make a lot of parallels to Chloe.
Yes.
And no, actually, things have gone too far, and we're going to try and mirror the ending. But I was like, okay, all right, let's see where this is going. We now know that that's not the case. That would have been a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
no
like-
one else find this really silly that there is a storm in the first place? Because
We all did.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the first, because obviously in the first Life is Strange, it's playing on the butterfly effect thing. It starts with a butterfly. In that first scene, you see a butterfly,
Yes.
and then yeah, everyone says, "Oh, the butterfly flapping its wings can cause a storm on the other side of the the same side of the world in this case." But do you know what I mean? The point is, oh, you changed what the butterfly did, therefore storm, right? Which is a bit far fetched, but
Oh, I
okay.
didn't think it was that.
Whereas
No, I
this,
didn't think
this
it
is
was that.
completely supernatural in like, oh no, you just bent the universe too much, so now there's a
Storm happens.
No,
even though
I
it's a
thought
completely
that.
different power.
To be fair, I thought that's what that was in the first series because
Okay.
Max definitely makes comments about the more she uses her powers,
Yeah,
the bigger
I
the
guess it
storms
starts
get, or the
breaking
more
it.
the
Yeah,
weather
yeah,
starts
yeah.
picking up. So I do think that is in keeping with it.
Yeah.
I just thought it wasn't earned here at all.
No,
But-
because she just keeps
yeah.
doing it. Like, she just keeps using her powers to do stuff.
Yeah,
And you're like,
at no point did she go to Safi, you've got to stop. Well, no, she does, doesn't she? In the last episode, she says it's not going to end well. But she doesn't really go, no, you are going to destroy everything you know and love if you carry on fucking around.
Yeah.
Anyway. There's again, if we're picking holes in everything, it's going to be a long
Getting
show.
Annoyed all over again.
I know. Safi seems to really want you to kill her. She says she's in a lot of pain and has hurt more. I don't know what that means. Max takes the gun, points at Safi. Safi takes the picture, then seems to talk about capturing the perfect photo like it's some sort of prank. Like as if she was going, ha, 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 I got ya. And then Safi asks Max to pull the trigger. Max refuses and dashes the gun. This whole bit is
Hannah,
nonsense.
it wasn't like it was a prank. It's like she was trying to feel what Max feels when, as a photographer, capturing a perfect photo. That's what I got from that.
Yes.
I thought it was a callback to the first episode when there was that whole question about like, what would you do at the end of the world? Would you want to, would you take a picture at the end of the world, or would
it's
you?
all, but the problem is, it's all callbacks that aren't interesting and just rushed
and
condensed
also
at the end.
are not earned either,
Yeah.
like, at all,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
Also,
it's
did
like-
anyone find it really weird how like they were having the conversation and Max just kept pointing the gun at Safi as if Safi was going to try something?
She was waving it around a lot.
I mean, she does that. She did that in the
weird.
bar. She's incapable
she
of
did do that in the
you know,
bar, yeah.
practicing actual safe firearm handling.
But my point is, it wouldn't feel out of place if she said, hey, yeah, remember we always wanted to, get the perfect picture. And then, her love interest walks in and goes, hey, got any one-liners for the board? And, and then Yasmin walks in and goes, Clam Chowder won the vote. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, right, okay, we've asked them to do all this stuff, but we've done nothing with it. So let's try and condense it into about 12
Suddenly Abraxas
seconds.
turns up.
Yeah.
That dude with a box.
There's shitload of puzzle boxes to get through.
Yeah, like we forgot to put them in the 4 episodes, so they got 25 to do in a row. Like
Oh,
Portal.
you've still got the USB key. You haven't got the USB key. Delete when appropriate. Right. Anyway, Safi asks Max to pull the trigger. Max refuses, dashes the gun. At least Max admits that she has no idea what she's doing. There's a scene in there where she goes, I just don't know what I'm doing. I was like, same, Max. Samesies. There are now two
point-
moons.
Also, up to this point, there's also no decision to be made yet. at all.
No,
it's all just happening.
Exposition.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
story mode.
There are now 2 moons. What is the reason for the 2 moons? Does anyone know? Because I didn't.
Because it's both timelines in the eye of the storm. I don't know.
Okay. Why,
Red one
So
and
why
the
are there
blue
2
one.
moons?
there's
Red
a
or
red one
blue,
and a blue
lads?
one.
Yeah, because why would the
Alright,
moon be
I'll
in a
blame-
slightly different place based on whether or not Safi was
Also, that would play not just the storm, but that would play havoc on the Earth as well.
Yeah, like the
if you had it.
tides will
Yeah,
be
all sorts of
fucked.
stuff. Yeah.
It's almost as if they didn't
I hate
think this
people that
stuff
do
through
that.
properly.
It's the most basic science thing to go. If something goes wrong on the moon, then the Earth is in trouble. It's
true.
The most
It's true, though.
Yeah, I know it's true. We all know it's true. We all know it's true when we were
Tsunami.
told when we were 7.
I thought it was worth mentioning. David.
It is worth
You know,
mentioning,
so
That's
because
a
it's
great
another thing that they
thing
just
to add,
chuck
actually,
in
James.
and hasn't been thought through.
Oh God! Imagine if you're a fan of this and you
I
listen.
am genuinely so sorry to fans of this game who are listening to this.
We are fans of
because-
this,
You are
this
wrong.
series.
but
Yeah, but not this game. Okay. Max wakes up behind the bench and she's cracking jokes for some reason. Yeah, she wakes up and she's back to being jolly. Hey, Max. And I'm like,
we're
not
glossing over the fact they
appropriate
just
right now.
walk into the storm off a cliff.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell's happened here? We're going to die?
I genuinely thought, this is going to be one of those endings where it turns out they died and this is them hallucinating.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
It wasn't that. It just wasn't explained.
No.
Okay. Oh God. What is it? Max wakes up behind the cracks jokes. Safi seems to be calling for help from the other timeline. Diamond is here. She ain't got a clue what's going on either. I said, but red and blue are a theme here, and a little 2 in your face. So there's the shot with the moons, and then there's a shot where she's walking down a corridor with blue and red lights. So this whole bit is weird. So this is I don't know what they were going for, but this is the bit where you constantly open doors into different environments, right?
This is the hotel, yeah? You're talking
No, we're not there yet, I don't think.
No, we're not at the
this is-
hotel. I don't think yet. No. We come to that, but that's part of this whole sequence where Max walks up to doors, opens the doors. There's something new behind the door every time. It didn't really work with anything, in my opinion. You know, I don't know how that ties into different timelines.
It just felt
or
like they're going to all the relevant
Safi-
locations where people
Yeah, it
may
was-
be, but
and some completely irrelevant ones as well. Okay, Moses time. Although it's heavily implied that it's not actually Moses, considering he's smoking. Right. So this is
Yes.
when you go through the whole. Oh my God, this bit really pissed me off. Right, Safi is in Moses. Moses is trying to get out. I saved him by double exposing him.
I know.
This
Yeah.
It was like they just went. See, it was like the bit in a film where the character ridiculously says the title of the movie out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
these cars are fast and furious.
It's like that. It felt like that. It was like they went, well, we've done nothing with this camera stuff, so how about we make the double exposure be the thing that rips Safi out of people's bodies? But that doesn't make sense either, because she's not actually in their bodies. She's changing your perception of what you're seeing. So even then, it doesn't really work. So
If anything,
the
you should
double-
put the flash in your own eyes and like, you know.
Yeah, and then I said, wouldn't it be better the other way round as well, where the first photo is of Moses, and then the double exposure one is of Safi? That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Instead, it was done the other way round. It was like, well, the second photo seems irrelevant now. I think Moses might be a good guy after all. He is. Butterfly from season 1 shows up. We're back in the bathroom.
Yes,
have
at
a
that point, I was
lot-
like, oh my God, where they're going with this?
Yeah, I had a lot of problems with this. A lot of problems. So can we just get through this quickly?
Please.
This is what I've written down. We're back in the bathroom. We're going to see Chloe. I told ya. Because I've been saying that all the way through the thing. Oh, it's Safi. And she's saying Hella now.
We can't
to be
afford
honest-
Ashley Birch, so sorry.
I just put, to be honest, I wish this series was more based around the first series. I wouldn't have said that prior to this coming out. But after playing this, I was thinking, wouldn't it have been wicked to go through the first game, the events of the first game again from a different perspective, and to take a look and see how that, like Back to the Future 2 is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Instead,
that'd be pretty cool.
we were left with
Compared to
this. hearing that weird hot dog Christmas thing out of nowhere. Again, this is like callbacks. Let's just make it make
Remember
things in the
this?
past seem relevant by
you remember
shoehorning them in.
this?
Yeah. Okay. Now back at the bowling alley, right? So I will come back to the stuff in the bathroom in a minute. Don't worry about it. I'm not letting that lay because that is quite important. Now back in the bowling alley, the tree and Lucas are back. Seeing the door to Jefferson's bunker. Now that's a bit creepy.
I don't remember that.
Oh my god! Now she's sitting in the chair, and I'm
Oh
going.
no, I do remember. Yeah.
I'm going. This is too much.
This is
I
horrible.
said-
Yeah.
So I put, oh god, it's making you sit back in it. Fucking hell. Honestly, this bit doesn't feel very well earned.
No.
This was
Not
an
at all.
insane amount of trauma
Yeah.
that Max has been through, and it's like they just chucked that in there for some sort of callback.
Yep.
Lucas saying loads of weird shit. Sure, Max take a photo. Right. Okay, we'll come back to that. This whole bit, it sort of sums up how messy this whole fucking series is. I don't think they really had a good idea on where to go with this. And if they did, they failed to get it across. And for you to make me sit down, I know it's, how do I put it? I know there's, like, right, okay, so we had a recent discussion on a bonus show about the film A Real Pain, I think it was called.
Yep.
And it has a long, prolonged scene where the characters in it walk through a concentration camp. And I said it was incredibly well done. It was thoughtful. It was well put together, well directed. It felt well earned. It felt like it had a point, and it was conveying a message to you, and you felt the weight of the scene, right? And at the end of a Call of Duty game, they just had your characters walking through them while they go, fuck, fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I said, that's the difference. Playing that Call of Duty one, they have slung that in there to go, look how edgy we are. And, this felt more that than A Real Pain. This felt, let's remind. I thought it was awful, to be quite frank. If it was a game about dealing with Max's trauma and how the events of the first series had a real impact on her, then you can justify a scene like this, or you can justify going back to moments like this. I think if you do it right, it can work. Here, it felt like a horrible fucking Easter egg. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, if you go past this at this time, and you'll find one of the photos that Jefferson took of you. It felt like that.
Like maybe if there'd been, even if there'd been like a recurring thing of like, oh, Max's powers are going weird, and they are bringing things from her past into the present, or something like that. There would have been some sort of establishing thing for this, but it just felt completely out of the blue. Didn't make any sense, and
Completely
was just really
inappropriate.
upsetting.
But they didn't really deal with any of that aside from. I mean, if you read the text messages and stuff like that, there was kind of like hints at like the way that she'd been dealing with things afterwards, and there was also like her journal and everything, also that had all the detail in. But it was not. It wasn't really dealt with, as in it. It wasn't like at the forefront. This idea that she'd been through this trauma. And you're right. It is like they just stuck it in there. Like, oh, do you remember this? That was that's something that happened.
Yeah, and for something to be like, because that was a very, very serious thing that happened. Obviously, like it was horrendous, right?
I mean, and we know because, like, we should acknowledge as well. Obviously before this, or I think it was just before this was announced, this game, there were the news reports about toxic culture within Deck 9, and there was one particular member of staff who left the company after that, and part of the discussion was about the fact that he was responsible for what was it? It was in True Colors. There's the bit where she gets knocked out and then she wakes up at the top of that mine shaft. And that's right. And then this one guy, I forget his name now, but he wanted her to be like drugged when that happened, and the rest of the team had to be like, no, that's really fucked up, because if there are survivors of people who've been spiked or whatever, that's going to be really triggering for them, and it's unnecessary, right? So knowing that the team was sensitive around stuff like that, I find it so surprising that this made it into this game.
Yeah. It sucked, and it really put me on a.
But it's also
this isn't going this doesn't seem to be justifying anything.
Mm.
That was,
No,
I mean, there was more hints before that, but it really hit home at this point. Oh, this game doesn't give a shit. It just wants to chuck things at you to try and go, remember how much you love Life is Strange?
Yeah.
And it was like,
And
neither.
this, it's the thing. I mean, this is really demonstrating like why bringing Max back, like they clearly didn't really have an idea as to
Agreed.
what to do with that, apart from, and that's why this is they chuck all this stuff in,
feels like a
particularly at
waste.
the end. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I believe that the whole, after playing this series, I believe the whole reason to bring Max back was to try and sell as many copies as possible.
definitely.
They
Yeah,
thought
capture
people
the
would be
original
more
fans who
interested
might have
because it's
elapsed.
Yep, and they hadn't convinced me at all at any point during this series that it was anything other than that, and that's
See,
the most.
I know obviously anyone who listens to these shows knows this already, but like I still say that I liked the idea of Max encountering someone else with powers and initially thinking they're really
Yeah,
fucking
totally.
shady, and it's like yes,
Totally.
because we know that's how Max might come across if anyone was paying attention to all the shit she gets up to, breaking into stuff, reading people's emails,
Yeah.
etc. I think that is smart, but yeah, beyond that, I sort of wish they hadn't brought her
Yeah.
back for this one now.
Okay. The double exposing thing's a bit odd. Wouldn't it work better if it was the other way around? Yeah, I've said that. Oh no, Reggie is here now. Reggie. Never took to Reggie as a character. Just seemed to be there at random plot points.
Just sort of felt bad for him. That's
Yeah.
that was his whole character. Is
Yep.
sad.
Yeah,
Like-
just sad and not coping with things.
Yeah.
And you just sort of, you're not at any point in a position to help Reggie.
No.
And in fact, one of the things you actually make his anxiety way worse by fucking around with the projector. Like it was,
Yeah.
yeah. We're now back in the turtle again, chatting to
Can we just
Amanda.
sorry. So because you find Vin there as well.
yeah.
And then you'd be like, Vin, do you want to go? You might maybe go and hang out with Reggie and comfort him or whatever. And I can't remember what Vin says, but what I have written down is Vin going to wank Reggie off?
Oh right, okay.
He's like, oh yeah, I'll reassure him, or maybe something more or something like that. And I was like, Vin,
That was odd.
Now,
Was it
now
also?
is not the time.
This is probably skipping ahead or something, but wasn't that also the bit where they're together and it's like
That's
they're best
skipping ahead.
mates?
Yeah, that's skipping ahead.
Yeah,
We'll come to
sorry,
that. I've got notes on that.
that.
Okay, we're now back in the turtle chatting to Amanda. Gwen is outside drinking. In quotes, I put, got to find a way of getting close enough to Gwen to take a photo because she's outside. I mean, how shit is the zoom on your camera?
Yeah.
Polaroid, mate, can't do fuck all. with it.
Zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, because I went to like the rear door where like previously like the gingerbread houses were. I was like, I can see her, so I can. That wasn't.
That door was really
Can you not
annoying,
zoom
'cause-
in on Polaroids then?
And in real life, I don't think you can. You can in the in-game one, though, can't you? 'Cause when
Yeah,
you're taking
you
the pictures,
jumped
you
ahead.
can zoom in.
You
so-
jumped ahead of me there. I had a little gotcha moment, but you're too wily for me, Mr. Bell. The wily Mr. Bell sounds like a brilliant Julia Donaldson book. On a hotel room. Okay, this is the bit that you were talking about, James. We're in a hotel room now. The clock reads EX6F, and Max says, "That can't be the right time."
Yeah. that was the other thing.
No,
though,
it's
like,
got letters on it, mate.
throughout this episode, though, like the inner monologue stuff was on overdrive
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like
really
of
bad.
ridiculousness.
But like, so yeah, I read that as like ex-girlfriend. That's how I saw it.
Yes.
EXGF.
But then
I was
that only
like-
really works if. I assumed it was like an allusion to Chloe or.
Well,
Yeah,
you
so
see,
that, yeah.
this is also.
girlfriend. Then mean.
I don't know, but I was like, it's clearly ex-GF, ex-girlfriend. I was like,
Yeah.
well, is that a Chloe thing? Oh yeah, I thought it meant more than it probably did. I don't know.
This is probably a part of the game, though.
Girlfriend, that's mad.
This is probably part of a game which was different for me than you, though, because mine involved Chloe, like this bit.
Oh,
was it?
not
Yeah. Okay.
50p. No, go on. What is it?
So James's was 8008I35.
No, there was because in my one, obviously, there was just tons of references to their time after, like being together afterwards.
Okay.
But then all just like basically like it was doomed to fail. It was all a disaster.
Right.
They ended up hating each other and all this. And it's just that's also why I can see why a lot of the fans got really upset with this because it's so on the like sort of pushing you with this idea that like it was a total disaster, and it's like, yeah, the town being destroyed and everything, but the idea that there was no chance they could ever have any kind of
I
relationship.
love the fact that in your game, thousands of people died, but them not being friends anymore is a total disaster to you.
No, it's the way they make out. It's like that. It's just,
It
I
is,
don't know.
though.
You see, to me that makes sense that their friendship or relationship would not survive that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
James,
But they don't have to keep telling me this like constantly.
they do. They do, just in case this happens to you and you decide to destroy a town instead of.
Don't worry, David. I will not destroy the town to save you. It's.
Oh man, am I your Chloe?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wicked. Because the little timid one that sees the really cool character and falls in love. Is that it?
Of course.
Edgy.
Why do you think I'm still doing this? It's like,
The funny thing is, you had all that stuff in that hotel room. We had an empty hotel room and was wondering why we were there.
Yeah,
really? So you didn't have like
Yeah.
all the the bag that Chloe had given you, like
No,
the,
it had nothing in it. It was an empty
We
hotel room.
I mean, there was a bag, but
It was a
that
bag.
was it.
Yeah.
There was a book on the
You did.
side.
Did you have the what's it called the kit for breaking into things as well?
Yes,
No.
I think.
Oh yeah,
so.
no, we did have that. Yes, I think we did have the kit for breaking into
Maybe.
things.
I mean, this
Chloe
bit
gave me
was-
that though.
This
It was,
bit was
you know.
not memorable to me
No.
at all.
So I put Max walks out of the room and into the same one like PT. I'm stuck in a hotel loop here. Not sure I should just be heading for the exit over and over again. Like I was like, is it trying to get me to look at the other things? But none of the other things look interesting.
It felt like it was trying to be a bit sort of Alan Wake as well, but
Oh,
completely-
definitely.
yeah. But
Whenever
just
it went
not
flat.
effective at all. Yeah,
I mean, there was the tripod against the wall,
Yeah.
and I
Yes.
clicked on it every single time, and it was
So
just
I
like,
fix it.
and it was basically just the story of she just kept on talking about how she used it for like a photo exhibition. I'm like, there's bigger things at stake here. Like at the moment, I don't know why you're talking about this.
I got
I don't think there is bigger things at stake though.
Well,
James.
yeah.
my only takeaway from this was that they were trying to do a sort of David Lynch style. Hey, it's not necessarily about what's literally happening; it's about the feeling of this sequence. Don't worry so much about trying to make sense of it. But even then,
The feeling was boredom.
yeah, like it was just like, yeah, I don't really like it was. Max was talking about like, oh yeah, this is like when I was on the road and I was just going from motel to motel and it felt like every room was identical. Like, okay, but what's that got to do with anything else that's going on right now? Why is this bit here? Why is she getting tired? Why does she lie on the bed for a bit and then go, right, anyway? Because I thought it was going to be like a thing like, no, don't fall asleep, Max. Something bad's going to happen if you fall asleep. And then she just kind of lies there and she's like, right, anyway, I'm going to get up now. Feel better. What? I don't...
Yeah, that whole. I mean, I put that here. I was like, having to lay down by the door again. What's going on? Like it was just that whole bit. It was shit. It was shit.
And then wasn't she like she couldn't open the last door, but then she tried really hard and she could?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this time I'm back in the turtle. The turtle, always back in the fucking turtle.
I
I
know.
put.
They
Have
really
to
get the
say,
money
this
worth out
episode-
of the locations, don't they?
Well, that's how I saw this. I was like, okay, they're just like, how can we reuse all the assets and locations?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have to say, this episode is doing absolutely nothing for me. Is what I put. Meeting back up with Safi, Max hugs her, but I'm not really sure why. She is absolutely fine. I'm not sure why she's absolutely fine with Safi after seeing all the weird and fucked up shit she's been going around doing. Like, I don't feel the friendship.
I know.
don't feel like
That's-
the.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the major problems that's coming up. Is it's
But
like,
but it's almost as if they should have gone further and been like, no, Safi might be a fucking enemy. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
well, she
mean?
should
It's,
be
it's
an
not
enemy.
just like it's not just like it felt like at worst the friendship has sort of eroded and maybe there are some trust issues. But I think it probably should have leaned more into like, no, Safi's a
Safi's
real
the bad
fucking
guy.
baddie. Yeah,
See,
Yeah.
they
Which
probably,
I think it tries to do.
I think because I think that's why the decision we'll come to in a bit. It's
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to be
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's
But
not.
you see, they probably shouldn't have killed her in the first episode. Like they should have spent longer, maybe like 2 or 3 episodes, like building up their friendship and their relationship to then, have these things happening. Because that's, I mean, they did that with the original Life is Strange. Like, they didn't, you didn't have like the big stuff happening in that game until like much further in. I think they were trying. I mean, obviously they were trying to do that to like kind of make some sort of statement, but it means that you don't feel that you have any relationship with this person.
Life is Strange 1, you felt more for Rachel. Was it Rachel?
I think there were a lot of relationships in this game, or in previous games, you felt a lot more for, even smaller characters.
And like you never even met her, but obviously Chloe was always going on about how fucking awesome she was.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
And in this, it's like I don't even feel that for Safi. Like,
well, you do meet her eventually, Rachel, don't you? And you do see that she is a fucking brilliant character. That was Before the Storm, wasn't it?
I never played Before the Storm.
Oh my god, did you not?
Shit, that's one of the
it's
good
really
ones.
good.
Yeah, play that one,
it's
Sean.
really good.
It's yeah.
Oh, so you've not done the fucking scene that we talk about all the time, the school play scene.
No.
One of the best things that Life is Strange have done, I think. It was brilliant. It was brilliant, that scene. It was so good. I thought we did a spoiler cast for that, did we not?
No, we didn't.
Oh,
guess
right.
so.
It was great though. It was
It was really good. Back in the bars, Safi is acting like nothing has happened, but now we're back at the lookout. So I don't even know what's going on at this point. I don't know. This bit here is sort of forcing me to try and side with Safi throughout this whole dialogue, and I don't think that should actually be the only option. It doesn't feel like Safi is close to Max in the way that Chloe was, so none of this feels genuine. Also, Safi has crossed so many lines with her powers; it's insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
She feels really cold, actually, like Safi.
Yeah,
There's
she's been using her powers for personal gain throughout the whole game. So, and there's
not
at no
even
point
for personal gain, just for petty revenge.
petty
and
revenge.
also, but also the justification for a lot of this, you don't really see it. Like, what's the reason for this? Because, like you said, a lot of it is petty revenge, or she was upset with her mum, about stuff, and it's like,
which never gets resolved. But we'll come to that.
My next note's quite funny. Oh yeah, Yasmin's been shot. I forgot about that. So after all that, you cut back and Yasmin's on the floor holding her shoulder.
So is this? Sorry, I can't remember the sequence of events. So is this after we realise that Safi is in Max as well, and we take a selfie to get Safi out? I think it is, right? I think we've done that now. I think that's why we're now back at the Overlook.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because that pissed me off as well, because it was like. Because basically it was implied like, oh, that's why Max has been really confident and in charge for the last 10 minutes. It's because it's Safi's influence.
It's not her, yeah. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't even pick up on that. Safi does not seem bothered by Yasmin dying. Right, okay. What did she do? So what was this all about?
So is this where Safi basically says she's going?
That's right.
And it's like, she's like, I need to go away for a bit. Because then she talks about like, she's like, we're fucking gods and shit, and she wants to go and find other people with powers, right?
She does that speech while changing into different people. Yes. And I said, Safi's now morphing into different people, like we didn't know that this was a thing. Like she was like, hey, I'm actually this person and this person. We know there was a bit where we sat down in a couch in the last episode
and now I'm going to go and assemble the Avengers.
I was going to say, I'm feeling a little bit smug because I did say, wouldn't it be cool if it turned out this was Professor Xavier versus Magneto? And I feel like that is kind of what it is, right?
Yeah, but it is, but
not good. It's not well done.
It's like it's shit Professor Xavier and shit Magneto.
So here I've got Safi wants Max to join her on some sort of superpower road trip while Yasmin just lays there with a bullet in her arm. Safi asks if they're in this together. Here's the big choice. Please say one of you chose something different to me. Refuse or agree. I don't really know what I'm refusing to or agreeing to at this point, but I think Safi has lost it completely. So did you refuse or agree?
I agreed.
You agreed?
Excellent. No, that's good. That's good.
I also
because
agreed.
I want to know. Excellent. That's good. Right.
According to stats, most people agreed.
Fucking hell! I refused
Why
because
would
I
you
thought
agree?
she's nuts. Like she's it's like
literally. I was thinking, I don't think anything really matters now at this point. We're so late in the
I had a part of that.
And B, I don't think I'm going to be held to this, so I just don't want Safi to be mad at me right now.
Yes, yeah. Essentially, I was doing it as like, yes, I agree. Like, just to keep her on, keep
we'll
on my
still
side.
be pals,
So in your
sure.
head, what were you agreeing to?
So basically, it was like, will you be an ally when I come back?
Yeah,
right?
will you be an ally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be an
An ally
ally
for what?
when she comes back.
More petty revenge and crime
Probably,
and
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Oh, when
More
she comes back,
crimes.
I thought
Yeah,
she
when
was
she comes-
asking you to come with.
No, when
Well,
she
yeah.
comes back.
She's going away either
Yeah.
way.
And will you basically talk to me when I come back after doing whatever she's doing?
Yeah.
What a weird
Anyway,
6-year-old
according to the
way of
stats,
doing that.
when
Do
I-
you
when I
still
played
like
it-
me? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah. So when I played it, 68% of people agreed.
Okay.
Obviously
hell.
32.
Why?
And basically, yeah, and
Because at
Safi
this
still
point, you
believes
might as
Safi still
well.
believes in you because of that.
I do
I
wonder if
don't
there's
want.
like.
I don't
if-
want Safi to believe in me. She's
but
awful.
is there the potential
a
that
terrible
even if you
person.
agree, is there the potential that you could have fucked her over in previous decisions, and then she's like, I don't actually believe you. I don't trust you. I don't know.
I doubt
Maybe, but I'm probably giving the game too much credit, to be
it.
honest.
Yeah.
So,
I
but
put,
before that, I should have done this before, but I was desperately trying to find the soundbite, which also made me really laugh, like other bits in the series. At one point, this the way it's delivered. Max says, "Chilling with your bestie in the void," and it's just. Did I remember that? Like the delivery of that made me laugh fucking loads. And I was desperately just trying to find it on YouTube, but yeah.
Sean,
Chilling
you're
with
like
your bestie
this.
in the void.
I've written here. Yeah, sure, I'll go along with you. Someone who spoke to someone's child like shit while pretending to be them to ruin their relationship. Oh, what's that down there? What's that down there? Your mum who you just shot. Okay, well, better book an Uber. I'm refusing, and if you didn't, you're insane.
Well,
And then
no,
I
you
put-
clearly didn't understand the question.
then
She
she-
thought it was
No, but
going
it
now.
doesn't matter. She'd done nothing throughout the whole game to make you feel like I want to
Yeah,
believe
but-
in you.
yeah,
So to be clear, I
Matt's
basically
right.
lied. Was my thinking was like, I'm
Yeah,
not going
but
to be
we
held to
understood the
this.
question, Sean.
Yeah,
Like David's
Yeah,
like,
but
no, I don't
Matt's
want to
right. I
go
don't
fight
think-
crime with you.
That's right. I
pause
don't
it.
think I did well, I definitely didn't understand the question because my next line is, "Wait, hold on. Was I refusing to turn back time to help her mum? What's going on?" So, I clearly didn't understand the question. I mean, still, I'm glad that Max just didn't jump when Safi told her to, which is what you two did. Then we fast forward a few
keeping her
days
sweet.
later. Time to head back to the Snapping Turtle again.
Oh god.
Timelines have now been combined, right? Lucas not seeming to know what the hell is going on. He asks you to help with his apology. I read it. It was a bullshit apology, barely addressing anything that he did.
Yeah.
And then offering a shit token by giving money to a suicide charity. Yeah, fuck Lucas after all.
I mean, he does that
Yasmin
line
called-
about like, oh, looks like I'm the victim after all, or whatever. Big
Also-
on the nose. Right, did anyone else
Dreadful
just
character.
go mad at this bit? Because it's like, what the fuck was any of that shit at the end of episode 4?
Yeah.
What was the big thing that we didn't know that was going to make Max feel really silly for exposing him? What was any
what
of
was
that?
Yeah.
Fucking
Wasn't explained, was
nonsense.
it?
No, never explained.
Lots of things weren't
This,
explained.
also, though, the merging of the timelines thing is a bit messed up.
Yep.
As well, really, because
But it makes no sense.
It's a bit like, because the thing is, right, we have this, basically you've got two separate groups of people, right, living in different timelines who have, who are living completely separate lives, who are developed in different ways. You're essentially killing all those people by bringing them
Well,
together
no,
into
they're
one.
merged. So that's why everyone's got like 2 sets of memories for the last fortnight.
Still
Which is
weird.
still incredibly damaging, and it's
Yeah,
clear that a
yeah,
lot of people
it's-
aren't dealing with it very well.
Yeah.
I don't
What?
think the series is going to last long enough for that to matter, Sean.
No,
We'll
talk about that in a bit.
Well, I don't know. The ending implies.
Yasmin called, she's fine. Well, months of therapy before she could use her arm, but still, she's not dead. She sounds angry that she's not dead. We still don't know what Lucas told Safi about Yasmin, do we? So
Nope.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Back at the turtle. Sick of writing that at this point. God, compare this what I've written. God, compare this last episode to the last episode of any other Life is Strange game. This is dreadful. I'm now tasked with talking to everyone. This whole scene was the most baffling thing
I hated
that I've
this.
ever seen
So
in a
much.
Yeah.
Life is
And it
Strange
was-
game.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, we're wrapping things up now. Go and have a chat with
she's
everyone.
Yeah, say
but
goodbyes.
Max
Yeah, say your goodbyes.
rambles.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
this is it. Sorry, this is the goodbye thing. So first, Amanda says, no offense, I kind of feel like I dodged a bullet. Me too, Amanda. Me too. This is when you're talking about the relationship. I didn't kiss her
Yeah.
in the bar,
Right.
so
yeah,
she
yeah,
was like, "Oh, it was no offense has been taken. I kind of feel like I dodged a bullet with you," and I just thought, "Yep, Amanda, you're a dickhead." So I'm well happy with the
So
situation.
in mine,
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh yeah, so I turned you down, so you just found another timeline where I didn't." And she does not appreciate that fact.
No, she's a bit pissed off.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So nothing goes forward with Amanda anyway. She's really
No.
into you.
But it being my Max to say, well, I got a kiss, so up yours, mate.
Yeah. Reggie and Vin next. That conversation added nothing.
Yeah.
Gwen's turn.
Oh,
Again,
no. So sorry. What I added was, hang on. So they were in a relationship, or they were heavily
I'm
flirting?
getting there.
Like,
I'm getting there.
In the last
I'm
5
getting there.
minutes of episode 4, it was
Hold on,
briefly
you're
mentioned.
jumping ahead. You are jumping ahead. Gwen's turn. Again, nothing of interest there. Diamond now asking what the hell is going on, and now you get to take photos of everyone. So you take a photo of Reggie. I said, ha ha ha. Took a photo of Reggie and Vin, and Max posts it with something like, "Nothing can keep these two apart." I
Yeah.
swear it's the first time I've seen them talk to each other.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, I watched that. I was like, I can't. Where has this been established? This relationship, like,
So this is towards the end of episode 4 when you're trying to fuck up the projector, and you're like, "Oh, I need a way of getting Reggie away from it." And then I can't remember. I think it might be Diamond. Is like, "Oh well, him and Vin like have a thing for each other, but it's not consummated yet."
I
that's
don't
what-
know.
Or
I don't
reference.
think I had that
or reference or
conversation.
mentioned ever.
Yeah.
And you've never even
Or
seen them in the
implied.
same room together.
Or,
yeah.
or you've got one really overly confident man and one's. I mean, their personalities are so wildly different. Opposites attract, sure,
Yeah.
but this is insane.
Yeah, Vin is just going to dominate that poor boy. That's not going to go well at all.
also, Vin's a dick. It's like,
Vin is a dick.
Yeah, I know, Vin
There's
is a
little
dick.
shades of like, oh look, we've tried to make him a bit relatable. He's not actually rich.
no,
And
he's
that's
just
the
a
kind of it. It's like, no, he's still
a
he's an absolute
swarmy
fucking
prick.
worm. Yeah, he's
It is a worm. I took a photo of everyone
slug.
in the bar and didn't get an achievement, fuming. Am I just getting the bad ending here by not going with Safi? Apparently, I didn't go with Safi. But
No option to
this
do
is this just feels like a bit of nothing ending. Max now says it's time to explain a few things, and I'm thinking, thank God for that. Thank God, Max, explain a few things to me, please. I said, is she actually going to, though? And then I've put in quotes, what's coming next is going to be difficult. What the fuck is she even talking about? What is she talking about?
it's the
there?
puzzle boxes.
she's
It's
talking about the fact
definitely not
everyone's
gonna be
everyone's
difficult.
fucked up because they got 2 sets of memories for the last fortnight. That's what she's talking about. But what
Really?
what I couldn't believe about this was, I mean, I don't know, maybe she comes out about having powers as well. I don't know. But what I couldn't believe about this is like she was psyching herself up. Oh, I've got to go talk to everyone. I'm going to explain what's going on. Da, da, da. It's like, yeah, you're gonna talk to 5 of your mates. What about
Yeah.
all the other people on campus who are clearly still struggling?
Yeah.
You're just gonna not leave them in the dark? Okay.
So there was part of me that was like, I was thinking at the time, is this got something to do with Safi's going to come back, and when she comes back, it's going to be fucked up. That's what I thought she was warning everyone about. But it wasn't clear. It wasn't interesting. It added nothing. I didn't care about anyone in the room. At this point, I fucking hated Max. And then I put the end.
Yeah,
Dreadful.
she just says less than fuck all
Yeah.
and fade to black.
Post credits. Diamond has a nosebleed, so she has powers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think. Yeah. Okay. And then
But
it
yeah,
says,
but basically, the 2 endings are determined by whether you refuse or.
"What's the 2
Are they?
endings?"
What's the other ending then?
So it says here. So if you refuse, Safi will feel abandoned by Max, shapeshift back into other Max out of spite, and leave Caledon alone.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
so,
what to me.
so that's what you and David got.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I got, yeah.
And
Okay.
then for our
So she's
one,
gonna run off and impersonate you then.
Safi will feel relieved and continue to trust Max, giving her a hug before she leaves Caledon alone as herself. So either way, she's leaving
Either way,
Caledon,
she leaves on her own.
She leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but she either feels relieved or she just like goes into Max out of spite.
Oh,
my
no.
last note here is Max Caulfield will return. I don't think she will.
Oh, I don't think she will either.
It's
Yeah.
done, right? This is done. This is
I like the
killed
fact they're
Life is
setting up
Strange.
Diamond as another person with powers. I thought, okay, that's interesting.
It's
But,
not
um,
interesting. Why
not
is that
It's not
interesting?
interesting because there's too many fucking people in one place with powers.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There should be
And it could be anyone.
storms going off all over the fucking
Yeah.
world. If there's that many, if the 3 people in one university can all have powers.
That was seriously a bit when I saw that. I was like, oh, fuck off. It's just...
Start saying, yeah, X-Men. It's okay. But anyway, we're not going to see it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise to summarise. I fucking hated this, and I think it's killed Life is Strange for good. I don't
Yeah,
see
I
how
don't-
Life is Strange comes back now.
I don't think we're going to see another one. I don't think this has probably sold particularly well.
No, we know
I
it
can't
hasn't,
imagine.
Right? I mean,
Yeah,
well, I
so-
mean, Square Enix said it didn't. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. They don't think anything sells as well as they want.
But
it to.
I mean, like, there was none of the
There's no buzz,
talk
was
about
there?
it. I mean, maybe this is also a reflection of the fact that people split over things like Twitter and Blue Sky and other places. But it
Yeah,
wasn't like
true.
the early days of Life is Strange. Oh my god, the episode and the fact they all came out at once. And yeah, there's just no talk about it. It came and went. If it wasn't for us doing this, a lot of people listening to the show wouldn't have even really known there was a new Life is Strange.
Yeah,
But also, like, the critic feedback was pretty much unanimous. And I think probably
Well,
people...
You say that. I was really surprised how positive some people were about this. I'm not sure they played the whole thing.
Yeah, I think it got 9 out of 10 in Games Radar or something crazy.
Yeah, it's like,
And I was
people
reading
are
on
crazy.
Reddit.
It's a gripping mystery. It's like, yeah, until the end.
But I was
Until
reading
the mid-
Reddit
until the
posts, and they were
midpoint.
like, "Did anyone
until about the
like
middle
Double
bit.
Exposure? Did anyone enjoy it?" I mean, when that's said, alarm bells. But yeah, it's a shame because we love the series. They started off great, and it's got progressively worse, and this is not good. And with that, I mean, if us as hardened fans of the series are like, really, are we going to see any more? Do we even want any more? I mean, that kind of speaks volumes, doesn't it? And if we're saying that, God knows what people who maybe were never interested in it and weren't even tempted to pick it up. Yeah,
It's so sad because, as I mentioned before, there was this whole thing about booting toxic people out the studio, and the team were like, "No, the people who are left really believe in this. Like, please look forward to the new Life is Strange. We can't wait for you to see what we've been working on, etc., etc."
Yeah.
And I feel awful like slagging this off, but it's genuinely terrible. Like, I sort of resent that we've even done this. Like,
And it's
yeah,
really...
we probably
it's really-
shouldn't have, should we?
It's really disappointing as well when you think that, like, the last thing that they did was True Colors, right?
Yeah.
Which
I liked.
which wasn't like absolutely amazing, but it was a solidly interesting story.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
play
Better
through.
than this.
It was way better than this,
Yeah.
and it just feels a shame. Like they've just gone for the nostalgia bait, is what it feels like with this.
And one of
it's
the biggest-
failed.
Yeah, one of the biggest things about this game and these kinds of games is the choices. And I don't think there's one single choice in this entire game over 5 episodes where I was like torn. It's just like, I'm obviously going to do that. And looking at the stats, like I looked at the stats, I guess, at least when I played it, and I was in the majority for every one of them. And like, often they'll be like, oh no, sometimes minority, majority, whatever. But it's just like every decision was just, cut and dry. And that's always been the most fun thing of playing the game, of discussing it with you lot, recording Spoilercast, doing other things, hearing what other fans have done. But it's just the choices weren't interesting or taxing at all in this.
It's a shame.
Hey, Tread. I'm really sorry if you like that and you were hoping that we were going to be positive. You probably turned off ages ago. Thank you
But
so
having said
much for
that-
listening.
No,
Sorry,
I'm
go on.
excited for that. The other one, the records one by
Lost Records.
Lost Records.
I don't know if I could do a spoiler cast on it though.
I'm wondering.
This is really
Well,
turned me off.
Should we like play it and take notes and see how we feel? Because I've just got a feeling. Well, maybe it's because comparatively to this, it's going to be a lot better. But I just have a feeling it's going to be really good. I hope it is. I want it to be really good, given how disappointing this was.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We apologise that this spoiler cast didn't go the way we were all hoping it went. But here we are. We're not here to lie and act like we loved it, even though we didn't. This was a truly terrible series. Thanks for living it. We will catch you on the next TCGS podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Fucking yikes.
Yeah, I was trying to remember one of the other lines. Ooka dooka. No, was it?
Oofa doofa.
Oofa
Those little
doofa.
come here, my little sharp guys. Shut up.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.